Every day, new discoveries modify our understanding of history and science. Scientists have discovered several things preserved in ice and cold tundras around the world. Most of them are species of some of the extinct animals, but others are absolutely strange. Many of the weird, scary, and fascinating items found frozen in ice are being rediscovered due to global warming. Welcome to another episode of xCellento. Today, we'll look at the 7 strangest items found frozen. So without any delay, let's begin with number 7 on our list, Siberian ice maiden. A fascinating discovery was made in the Yukon Plateau near the Russian-Chinese border in 1993. A suspected grave robbing was reported to authorities. While investigating the grave robbery, they discovered a massive slab of ice by accident. It was time to start melting the block, so the archaeologists were summoned. It turned out to be the 25-year-old princess known as the Siberian ice maiden, whose mummified remains had been discovered. The fact that the mummy had tattoos quite different from what we see today was astounding. Along with her, remains of a cosmetic bag and 6 horses were also found. What about her belongings and her horses? How did she die at such a young age? Was it a suicide or a human sacrifice? These questions drove archaeologists to explore more about this mysterious woman who died over 2,500 years ago. Her internal organs, including her brain, were removed, so archaeologists couldn't tell how she died. But now, 2 decades later, the Russian Academy of Sciences has an explanation. Scientists think she got breast cancer in her early 20s. She was in a lot of pain and relied on cannabis to help her. The presence of cannabis in her grave is proof of this. The disease's severe discomfort weakened her over time. The horses found were actually sacrificed for the princess and buried alongside her. Not a good death for the princess, but the use of cannabis as medicine at that time amazed the scientists. Number 6. The brain of a mammoth. An ancient woolly mammoth's mummified remains, including its brain and even blood vessels, were discovered in August 2010 along the Laptev Sea coast near Yukagir in Russia. According to researchers, the mammoth, named Yuka, died between the ages of 6 and 9. It was subsequently moved from the coast and stored in ice some 93 miles away from the original spot, but it has moved about a lot since then. The specimen has arrived in Moscow, where it is currently on exhibit. These Ice Age animals have been found before, but this may be the first whole mammoth brain. Nuba and Chroma, 2 baby female woolly mammoths discovered in Siberia's permafrost in 2007 and 2009, were given the names after their discoverers. There were structural differences found between these 2 discoveries, which may be the result of an evolutionary shift in the mammoth lineage, as revealed by CT scans of their stomach contents, which were also found preserved. Number 5. Otzi, the iceman. This was discovered in the Italian Alps in 1991 and became an instant worldwide sensation. 2 German hikers discovered him while crossing the Teisjog Pass above the Otzi Valley in western Austria. The hikers discovered a human upper body sticking from the glacier. The German hikers alerted the Austrian authorities that the body was the consequence of an unfortunate mountaineering disaster. On this basis, a hasty evacuation attempt was made the next day. The body was sent to the Institute of Forensic Medicine in Austria for further analysis. An archaeologist from the University of Innsbruck investigated the remains and determined that the body was 4,000 years old. One very amazing thing about him was that the iceman also had 61 tattoos covering his rib cage, lower back, wrists, ankles, knees, and calves. The iceman's body suffered 2 serious injuries, leading to the conclusion that he was murdered. Researchers believe that an unknown assailant ambushed and killed the Otzi with an arrow, but no one knows why he was killed. Enjoying the video? Make sure to hit the like button. Number 4. Frozen Ice Age puppy. In Russia's northeastern province of Yakutia, hunters on the lookout for mammoth tusks were led to a riverbank when they noticed an Ice Age puppy nose peeking out from under the permafrost. Its skin, fur, and internal organs were all still intact. An interesting thing that was brought to light was the presence of grass and vegetables in its stomach, which indicated that it was not strictly carnivore or that it began eating grass when it became starving. This discovery aided scientists in better understanding and refining their concepts of Ice Age canines and the origins of domesticated dogs, among other things. Of course, there is still much to learn about these pups, but finding something as rare and delicate as Ice Age pups is an achievement. Number 3. Children of Llullaillaco. In 1999, 3 human mummies were discovered in the summit of Llullaillaco, a volcano located on the Argentine-Chilean border. The mummies are believed to be those of a teenage girl and 2 children, presumed to be between the ages of 6 and 7, who were sacrificed in an Inca religious ceremony that took place in the year 1500. The teenage girl was named the Maiden, and the little boy and girl were named Llullaillaco boy and the Lightning girl respectively. Little girl was particularly named Lightning girl because her face looked like it was hit by lightning. The hair of these children, known as the children of Llullaillaco, yielded a record of what they ate and drank in the last 2 years of their lives, which suggests that they were selected a year before their sacrifice. It has also been revealed that mind-altering substances played a role in their deaths, as well as the year-long series of ceremonial processes that prepared them for their final hours. The evidence implies that the maiden was handled particularly differently from the 2 children. When she was chosen for the deadly rite, the maid most likely gained a new rank in the empire, and the other 2 children may have acted as her personal attendants after that. Number 2. A 10,000-foot mountain range. Antarctica may have appeared to be a dull place to visit, but beneath the ice sheets that cover much of the land lies an entire 100-million-year-old mountain range. Researchers used ground-penetrating radar to map it in the early 2000s. According to some, the mountain range resembles the Alps and may be composed of a billion-year-old rock that rose to the surface between 250 and 100 million years ago. To put this in perspective, this was during the time when dinosaurs were still roaming the planet. Given its age, the mountain range should resemble the Appalachians due to erosion, but these appear to be as young as ever because erosion stopped once the ice sheets in the continent became large enough. Number 1. Frozen bear and cub. Scientists in Russia discovered this cave bear and its baby in a wall of ice that was 39,000 years old and in pristine condition. Only the bones of cave bears have ever been discovered up to now. Since the permafrost has preserved their tissue soft and undamaged throughout the years, experts are optimistic about the possibility of discovering the DNA of this long-extinct animal. A prehistoric species known as cave bears existed in Eurasia approximately 3,000 to 15,000 years ago and was abundant in the region. Undoubtedly, discovering a complete bear carcass that is so perfectly preserved, with all of its internal organs in place, was a lucky break. That's it for today, folks. Which thing was most interesting for you? Share with us in the comments below. Also, make sure to subscribe and turn that bell notification on so that you can receive notification of our upcoming videos. You can also watch our other videos. See you in the next video.